Hello, I'm Selassie and welcome to the Cartels video raid guides. Today we're going to be in Throne of the Four Winds and we're going to be concentrating on the final boss, Al-Qair. Al-Qair is a tough fight with regards to the fact that phase 1 is always the hardest. Now, in phase 1 he's got a few abilities to talk about. You can see that we're all spread out on these clubs in pairs of 2. Now the reason for this is he does a chain lightning, which will chain lightning other people within a radius of you. So to ensure that you keep the damage to a minimum over the rest of the raid, and only 2 people get it at any one time, you group up in 2s. You put your healers on every odd one so that they can reach everyone. Be wise about that, and put your DPS on the far ends and in the middle. This was 10 man, so we did it with 1 tank, 3 healers and 6 DPS. The next ability, as you can see in front of me at the moment, is the ice patch on the floor. The ice patch on the floor really isn't that bad. If you stand in it, you're going to take damage, and it slows your run speed, so just be aware of it. The major mechanic, once you've set both of those up, really, in the first phase, is the wind torrents that are going around, which are called Scoreline, coupled with an ability called Wind Burst. Now, Wind Burst is going to blow you back a certain amount. If you get knocked off the edge, you're not going to die, but you're going to be out of the raid for a good 10 seconds, if not more. If you're unlucky enough to get caught in the scoreline as you come up, then it's going to be highly frustrating. I deliberately made this mistake. I didn't deliberately make this mistake, but I made this mistake here, and I deliberately want you guys to see it because it shows you exactly what not to do. See, I'm in trouble here because I got knocked off and I'm back in the scoreline, and I've not been very helpful to my raid. We're moving into phase 2 here. You move into phase 2 at 80%. If you can keep 10 people alive in phase 1, you've got a very good chance of getting the encounter down. As we move into phase 2 here, you can see that there's Stormlings up. These are an ad. Now, they've got about, I can't remember exactly how much health they've got, but how they work is they work on a 20-second timer. One will spawn every 20 seconds. When you kill a Stormling, it puts a debuff on the boss called Feedback, which will make you deal an extra 10% damage to him, and it will stack. So if you get another Stormling down within 20 seconds, it'll be 20%, 30%, so on or so forth. Now, the key to phase 2 is to stack as much feedback up as possible by timing the Stormling kills. So you need to assign, depending on your raid's DPS makeup, a certain amount of DPS to get the Stormlings down. Not everyone, because you need people on Al-Qair to get him through this phase. This phase lasts from 80 to 25%, so you've got quite a lot to get him down, and the feedback definitely does help. The soft enrage in this phase is his Acid Rain. Now, Acid Rain is going to slowly get worse and worse and worse. It's a stacking debuff, as you can see in the video now. I think I've got about 7 stacks. Now that's making heals really hard, and after a certain amount of time, it's just going to get unbearable, so you really need to stack the feedback. You can't kill a Stormling in 15 seconds, because then you're not going to have another one spawning for 5 seconds, and that means next time you've only got 15 seconds to get him down, and then 10 and then 5, you're going to be in real trouble. You've really got to time the Stormling kills at pretty much exactly 20 seconds. You might have noticed that we had 2 Stormlings up at the beginning of our encounter. Now, we keep the first Stormling up to give us a get out clause. If we accidentally kill one too quickly, then we've got one to get down. As you see, we just used that get out of jail free card there. Although you've assigned we assigned 2 DPS to this, myself and Elemental Shaman, but there are going to be occasions when you need all DPS to switch to the Stormling. If you've not got it down in time and you've only got 3 seconds before feedback's going to drop off, then you need to have everyone switch to ensure that you don't drop the stacks of feedback. Pretty much key to it is, if you stack feedback up to between 6 and 8, you should really get Al-Qair down to 25% to push him into phase 3 without much problem whatsoever. The key to this phase, as I keep repeating, is killing the Stormlings in the correct amount of time. Good communication on vent is important. This is just going to keep going on now till we move into 25%, and then we move on to phase 3. Once we move into phase 3, we're going to go into 3-dimensional space. Al-Qair is going to break off his platform, and we all need to fly down to as low as possible. The mechanic that he's going to do in phase 3 is going to produce a lightning cloud at a random raid member's altitude. So you all fly down, and you all must stay on the same lateral plane. As you can see, we've just pushed him into phase 3 now. and we're all going to fly down as low as we can, because you all need to stay on a lateral plane, because he's going to pick someone and then he's going to put the lightning cloud on them, and that's going to move it up. So you need to go to the bottom so you've got enough space to keep going upwards and upwards and upwards, but you must make sure your ray stays on the same lateral plane. If someone gets a bit excited and goes a little bit too high and he spawns lightning cloud on them, it's going to kill everyone. So you just need to stay above this mechanic at all times. Another thing you'll do in this is lightning rod, a lot like on Ascendant Council. If you get lightning rod, you need to get out of the raid. You can see there the green triangle's got it, it's not getting out of the raid. Been told, now he gets out of the raid. Would have been a bit quicker on that, but this was only the second or third time we'd got into phase 3. As you can see, we keep moving up into the clear air. The dirty clouds form and the lightning forms, but when you got dirty clouds around you, you need to move up into clear air. So we blow Bloodlust in this phase, because this is truly the burn phase before the lightning clouds are going to overwhelm us, essentially. So you can see we're all staying on the same lateral plane, staying spread out 6 yards to 8 yards so we don't get chain lightning. And then just moving up into clear space, staying on the same lateral plane. People are getting a little bit excited there and moving up a little too high, but as long as the raid adjusts and copes with the mechanic, that's fine. He'll also do wind burst in this phase as well, so you've got to try to stay very close to the boss. Staying too far away could knock you out into the eye of the storm, and that's bad. Don't get knocked into the eye of the storm. Stay close to the boss, keep moving up. If you get wind burst back, get back into the boss straight away. He's almost down now. As you can see, I'm in dirty air, so I need to get up into clear space, keep DPS in. This was a pretty exhilarating kill for us, because phase 1, being the hardest phase, did have us wiping for quite a while. So we was all pretty pleased to get that one down. Anyway, I hope this video has been helpful to you, and I'll see you in the future for more.